Thanksgiving is a cherished holiday in the United States, celebrated with family gatherings, festive feasts, and a spirit of gratitude. While the modern Thanksgiving dinner is often characterized by turkey, stuffing, and cranberry sauce, the foods served at this holiday meal have evolved significantly over the centuries. Curious to learn how some of our favorite Thanksgiving foods ended up on the table? Let's take a journey through time to explore how Thanksgiving dinner has changed from the early 1600s to today. The first Thanksgiving. The origins of Thanksgiving date back to 1621, when the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag people came together to celebrate the harvest. The menu for this first feast was vastly different from what we see today. While turkey was likely present, it wasn't the centerpiece. Instead, the meal included a variety of foods that reflected the local environment and agriculture practices of the time. Key dishes. Ducks and geese were more common than turkey and would have likely been part of the feast. Clams, lobsters, and fish were abundant in the coastal areas, providing a fresh source of protein. The Pilgrims and Wampanoag enjoyed corn, squash, beans, and staples of Native American culture. Native fruits like berries and nuts added natural sweetness to the meal. The colonial era. As Thanksgiving celebrations spread throughout the colonies in the 17th and 18th centuries, the menu began to incorporate influences from various cultures, including Native American, English, and Dutch culinary traditions. Foods became more abundant and diverse, reflecting regional specialties. Key dishes. Pumpkin pie as we know it today didn't exist, but pumpkin was a common ingredient. It was often prepared as a custard or served in savory dishes. The colonists brought recipes for meat pies and other baked goods, which began to make their way into Thanksgiving tables. Venison and other game meats became popular along with domesticated fowl like chickens and turkeys. But turkeys were domesticated twice, in central Mexico and in the southwestern United States. This domestication happened at the same time about 2,000 years ago. The southwestern domesticate disappeared, and the turkeys eaten today are derived from the Mexican domesticate. Domesticated turkeys made quite a journey to tables in the United States. They were most likely brought from Mexico to Europe and came to the eastern United States by Europeans when they settled the colonies. In the fall of 1621, after surviving their first brutal winter and successfully establishing a food supply, the remaining members of the Plymouth colony held a 3-day harvest feast alongside the native Wampanoag Indians. The notion that their relationship was entirely friendly has since been debunked, though it's true that the Wampanoag tribe was looking for ways to manage and benefit from the forces of colonization. Wild turkey was possibly a component, though not the centerpiece, of a menu that also included venison, corn, and likely seafood. Roast turkey was a popular holiday meal by the end of the 19th century, and it became associated with Thanksgiving due in large part to writer and editor Sarah Josepha Hale, who advocated for Thanksgiving to be a national holiday and published turkey recipes in her magazine to help readers celebrate. Gravy has been around since at least the 14th century. The earliest written mention is in a British cookbook from 1390 called The Form of Curry. European settlers in the New World would have been familiar with the process of boiling meat leftovers to make a broth and then thickening it with grains to make gravy. Recipes have evolved over the centuries, with flavors varying according to local cuisine, and today we have hundreds of adaptations. The 19th century. In 1863, President Abraham Lincoln declared Thanksgiving a national holiday, and the celebratory meal continued to evolve. With the Industrial Revolution, food preservation methods improved, leading to greater availability of ingredients. Key dishes. Turkey began to take its place as the star of the Thanksgiving dinner, largely due to its size and ability to feed a large gathering. Stuffing turkey became a common practice, and various recipes emerged, often incorporating bread, herbs, and regional flavors. The introduction of sugar and the popularity of cranberries in New England led to the development of cranberry sauce as a traditional condiment. Early settlers might have stuffed their birds with herbs, chestnuts, and onions. The practice of stuffing the cavities of birds and other meat with chopped items existed since at least ancient Rome. By the 1800s, stuffed turkeys were common on Thanksgiving tables. Recipes for stuffing appeared in Amelia Simmons' 1796 American Cookery, considered America's first cookbook. Today, whether you cook it inside or outside of the bird, stuffing is still a must-have side. Potatoes were first cultivated in South America thousands of years ago. Spanish colonists brought them to Europe, and Europeans brought them back to North America, where they started to be grown on a large scale in the 18th century. So the earliest tables would not have featured potatoes. The oldest recipe we know of for mashed potatoes is in a 1747 English cookbook called The Art of Cookery by Hannah Glasse. Sarah Josepha Hale, the writer who published turkey recipes in her magazine, also helped popularize mashed potatoes as a Thanksgiving side dish. Many recipes today use Yukon Gold potatoes, which were developed in Canada in the 1960s. Pumpkins are native to North America, and native people have long been making dessert out of them by the time the colonists arrived. When pumpkins were introduced to Europe, people started putting them in pies, much as they did with other gourds. The practice continued in the New World, and pumpkin pie was a popular dish among colonists almost from the get-go. It remains an iconic staple on Thanksgiving tables, so most of our recipes today, like maple pumpkin pie, rely on canned pumpkin, which became widespread in 1920s. Emptying a can is much easier than roasting, seeding, and mashing a pumpkin yourself. The 20th century. By the mid-20th century, Thanksgiving had become firmly entrenched in American culture, with families developing their own unique traditions. The post-World War II era saw the rise of convenience foods, which significantly impacted Thanksgiving dinner preparation. The convenience of canned cranberry sauce and stuffing made it easier for families to prepare their Thanksgiving meals quickly. The rise of frozen foods made it possible for families to purchase pre-frozen turkeys, leading to the modern tradition of the Thanksgiving turkey. As America became more diverse, Thanksgiving dinners began to reflect regional and ethnic influences, incorporating dishes from various cultural backgrounds, including tamales, collard greens, and pumpkin ravioli. And as for cranberry sauce, changing the game for celebrants of Thanksgiving, Ocean Spray started canning cranberries in 1912, making them available longer, and the company came out with jellied cranberry sauce, which keeps its shape even when shaken from the can. Modern day. Today, Thanksgiving dinner is a tapestry of culinary traditions that reflect both the history of the holiday and the contemporary tastes of American families. While many still enjoy the classic turkey with stuffing and cranberry sauce, there is an increasing trend toward experimenting with flavors and dishes. So no matter the fusion on your table this Thanksgiving, we hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving.